Here's a thrilling short story titled The Perilous Snake and the White Lion. The Perilous Snake and the White Lion. Beneath the golden sun of the African savanna, where the grass swayed like waves in an unseen ocean, a legend whispered among the creatures of the wild. It spoke of two mighty beings, one of darkness, one of light. One slithered in the shadows, its fangs dripping with death. The other roared beneath the sky, its mane a beacon of power. The perilous snake and the white lion. No one knew how their paths would cross, but when they did, the world would tremble. The whisper of fate Kwame, a young Maasai warrior, stood atop a rocky outcrop, his keen eyes scanning the endless plains. The elders often spoke of the fabled white lion, a creature of rare and divine power. They also spoke of the perilous snake, an ancient serpent as black as the void, venomous enough to kill an elephant with a single bite. Kwame's heart pounded with anticipation. He had spent years preparing for this moment, his chance to witness the legend himself. He adjusted the spear in his grip and moved cautiously toward the riverbank, where he had heard strange movements the night before. A heavy silence hung over the land. No birds chirped, no insects hummed, only the distant rumbling of thunder in the sky. And then he saw it. A slithering shadow moved through the dry grass, its scales gleaming in the dying light. It was enormous, larger than any snake he had ever seen. Its eyes, black as coal, locked onto him for a fleeting second before shifting to something else, something beyond him. Kwame followed its gaze. A few yards away, standing atop a boulder bathed in golden light, was the legendary white lion. The clash of titans, the lion's mane as pure as ivory, rippled in the evening breeze. Its amber eyes burned with an intensity that sent shivers down Kwame's spine. The snake reared back, its tongue flickering like a whisper of doom. It did not strike immediately. It was waiting, measuring its enemy. The lion let out a slow, rumbling growl. It, too, knew the danger before it. For a moment there was nothing but silence between them. Then the world exploded. The snake lunged with a speed that defied belief, its fangs aimed at the lion's throat. But the lion was quicker. It leaped aside, landing with a grace that belied its immense power. The snake coiled, striking again. The lion roared, swiping with razor-sharp claws, catching the serpent across its head. Blood splattered onto the ground, but the snake did not falter. It struck again, this time sinking its fangs deep into the lion's foreleg. Kwame gasped. He knew the venom could kill in mere minutes. The lion, however, did not retreat. It roared in fury and latched its jaws around the snake's thick body. With a violent shake, it threw the serpent across the clearing, slamming it against a tree. The snake writhed but did not rise. It lay motionless, its body twitching in the dust. But the lion staggered. Kwame's breath caught in his throat. The venom was taking effect, a warrior's choice. He could not stand idly by. The white lion, the guardian of the land, was dying. Kwame sprinted forward, pulling a leather pouch from his belt. Inside was a rare herb, one known only to his people. The elders spoke of its power to neutralize the deadliest of venoms. The lion's massive form trembled as Kwame approached. It let out a weak growl, warning him to keep his distance. But Kwame did not stop. "I am here to help," he whispered. Slowly, cautiously, he placed the herb against the wound and pressed it gently. The lion flinched but did not attack. Time slowed. Kwame watched, praying, as the lion's ragged breaths began to steady. The herb was working, a legend reborn. The sun had long set when the white lion finally stood. It shook itself, its strength returning. For a moment it gazed at Kwame. Then, with a slow and deliberate motion, it bowed its head. Gratitude. Kwame's heart pounded. He had not only witnessed a legend, he had become part of it. The white lion turned and disappeared into the night, its silhouette blending into the silver moonlight. And somewhere, deep in the grasslands, the whispers of the wild carried a new tale, the tale of the warrior who saved the lion, and of the day darkness fell before the light, the end.